If your website has one of these mistakes, you are losing customers and visitors. Today I'll show you the most common website mistakes and how to fix them. So let's get started. Before we start with everything, here is a quick intro. I'm the founder of orbitflowagency. We help businesses attract more customers with a professional website. And my name is Stefan, and let's get in the video. So we are going with the first mistake that your website may have, and that is slow loading speed. Unoptimized website could be a reason to have a slow loading speed, because if your website needs over 3 seconds to load, then most of visitors are already gone from your website. So already on the start, you are not allowing visitors to read and learn about your service or your business. So they won't even be on your website for a second. So if your website is loading slowly, then they'll just move on for the next solution for their problem, which means that they'll just go simply on the next tab on the Google. It means that they'll go to your competitors. And not just that, I mean, you're already losing a lot because of slow loading time. You're losing customers, and that's the main thing, but also Google ranks lower website that has slow loading speed. So if your website is loading very slow, then I guess you are losing customers, and even you get lower and lower position in Google's search rankings. And also maybe your website doesn't have any problem with optimization, but maybe it's a problem with your hosting. Make sure to have a good hosting, but if you have a website on Webflow, then you'll be alright with their own hosting. So we have already two problems with slow website. The first thing is that visitors won't even wait your website to load, so they'll just move on and they won't see your website at least. And the second thing is that your website will have lower rankings on the Google search engine. So when we know the problem, we'll need to have some solution, right? And solution for the first problem and the second as well, because it's the same problem, you'll need to optimize your website. And how you can do that? Firstly, you'll need to optimize your images. I already have a video on my YouTube channel how to do that. I'll just simply tell what you need to do if you don't want to watch that video. You'll need to reduce the size of the photo. So if the regular size of the image is 2 megabytes, you'll need to reduce it somehow to 200 kilobytes. And I explained it in my previous video how you can do that step by step. So if you want to optimize the photo, make sure to watch that video as well. Then I also have one more video about optimizing the entire website where I covered every step, and that is the new solution. The second solution for our problem is to minimize unnecessary plugins and scripts. For that, you'll need to tell your developer to do that, or maybe you are the developer, so you'll know how to remove unnecessary scripts and plugins. And the last thing is that you'll need to have faster hosting. As I mentioned before, if you already have a Webflow hosting, then you don't have to worry about it. But if you have some random hosting and you see that there is a problem with your hosting, maybe the hosting fell down and your website is not working at least, so change it immediately. So I hope you learn about website optimization, because now we are moving to the second mistake, and that is bad mobile experience, because over 60% of web traffic is mobile, and still a lot of websites look bad on lower devices such as mobile, tablet, or something like that. So you can check your website by entering your URL on the mobile phone, and you'll see how it looks on the other screen. If it's look unorganized or difficult to navigate, or the website is overall broken on the mobile devices, then you have serious problem. Because you can imagine what is the first thing that person is going to do when he sees destroyed website. I mean, you already know the answer. They'll just leave immediately. So in that case, you'll need to have very good optimized website for mobile devices. Not just for mobile, as I mentioned, it could be maybe a higher devices than a desktop version, or tablet, laptop, even mobile phone. So if you have problems with that, you'll need to fix that immediately. Then when we are done with the second mistake, we are moving to the third mistake, which is poor navigation. Users basically get confused with a lot of options. I mean, on the start, if you have 15 buttons and 5 images and a lot of text, they'll just get confused and they'll ask themselves, what is this about? I mean, if they can tell you what you're working with in the first 5 seconds, then I guess you have very poor navigation. So you have 5 call to action buttons in the hero section. The hero section is the first section that users is going to see when he enters your website. So we have click here to learn more, book now, schedule a meeting, buy our products, read our blog posts or something like that. Or we have 30 links in your navigation in 1 line or 2 lines. Then I would say that you have also a problem with that. You have to keep it simple. I mean, the same thing is with headline. If you have paragraph with over 200 words in the hero section, nobody will read that. So you need to keep the text content very simple. So in just a few words, people could understand on the start what you are working with. And if they are interested in your services, they'll move down to the other part of the website where you can write a little bit more and describe your service or your item that you are placing to the market. So the solution for this problem is that to keep your website simple and have clear menus in navigation menu like home, about, contact, services, something like that, not to have 25 links on the start, and keep the navigation consistent on all pages. And then the fourth mistake is that you have weak call to action, aka CTA button. I've talked about this problem in some of my previous video and shorts, but I'll say it once again because this is really important. Because if you don't have, or you already have call to action button but it's poor, then the website don't tell the visitors what to do next. I mean, if they read that, for example, you only detailing cars in New York and then your service suit to the potential customer well, they don't know which step should they go for next. And maybe if you have a call to action, you need to make it clear. I mean, if you have call to action button that is standing out more than everything in the hero section, then congratulations, you have already good call to action, but you're not still finished with that. You need to be clear, as I said. You can't just put click here or something like that, because users won't know where that button will move them. So instead of that, maybe you can put get a free code, schedule a consultation, schedule a free consultation, or something like that. So you need to precise what is that button doing. And then you'll need to have call to action button that is easy to find, and then you need to have a call to action that is visible at least and easy to find. I mean, if you put your call to action button in the middle of the text with over 1000 words, then that's not going to work. So make the button stand out more than the content and you'll have a good result. So now when we are at the part of the buttons and readability and visibility of the button, we are moving with the fifth mistake that is kinda connected with the fourth mistake, and that is poor readability and font choice. I mean, the main thing that makes this a big problem is that your content is not readable at all. You need to think about the contrast between the text and its background. So for example, you cannot put the bright yellow text on a white background, right? Basically, the contrast needs to be very high, because not everybody has the same display. I mean, if it's hard to read on your device but it's still readable, maybe on the other device it won't be readable at least. So you need to take care about that. And the best solution for this problem, to put black text instead of the light yellow. So it should look like this instead of this. So I hope you understood what I mean with that. So always use the different colors to make higher contrast. I'll give you one more example. You shouldn't put a dark gray text on a black or dark background. It won't be readable, right? So you need to make it, as I said, clear and simple for your visitors. So make the content easier for them and you have a good results. I mean, if you already have a good contrast on your text, maybe you'll still have a problem with that, because yeah, you have good contrast but your font size is too small, or maybe you're choosing some fancy font styles or something like that that is hard to read. Make sure to cover that part as well. So you'll need to make the text size big enough so everybody could read it, because that's the main point of your website, to attract customers to read about your service or item and get interested in that and hire you or purchase the item from you. So the content generally is one of the main things at your website. If it's too small or you have some font style that is hard to read, maybe you know how to read but other person won't. So as I mentioned many times before, make it simple, right? You can check the Apple's website or Samsung website or something like that, or some of the most popular brands in the world. You can see that they're using simple fonts, simple layout and clear layout, and that's it. You don't have to create something that is not seen on the internet yet, right? So for this problem you need to make a good contrast so the content can read everybody, which means that the content will stand out more than the background. Then the font size will be big enough so everybody could read it, and the font style would be simple. I mean, because everybody should read your content. So guys, these simple fixes can make a huge difference in your website's success. If you need improving your website, comment below or reach out to me, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more website tips. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.